Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and as you can see or hear, I'm joined by one of my illustrious co-hosts today, good friend, Mr. Adam Cousins. Adam, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Often imitated, never duplicated.
I see what you've done there. We are back for our Monday Night Raw review. Had to follow up a good Monday Night Raw last week, I thought, and I think WWE followed it up pretty well. It's got a few mixed reviews out there, but it's very Judgment Day heavy, shall we say. Before we break it down, mate, what did you make of this past 3 hours of Monday Night Raw that we saw on, funnily enough, Monday night?
Monday night, yeah. Solid, I think was the term. Listen, it doesn't have to be mind-blowingly brilliant every week. Solid will do nicely on the way to Summerslam, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Do you think we put too much onus on it being, blockbuster every week? And we're, I'm talking about us as well. So, we sit here and review it every week. They can't knock it out the park every week, and 3 hours of TV is very hard to fill. Yeah. It's not exactly 3 hours of all the adverts, but back people say, well, back in the day it was a lot better. Well, back in the day, Raw was only on for an hour.
Yeah,
a lot of people seem to forget that. If you go back to like the mid 90s or early, Raw was on for an hour, then it went to 2 hours. Now it's going to 3 hours, and there's a lot of content out there. But yeah, what do you make? Judgment Day kicked off Raw in the ring. Bringing out Dom. Are they playing it good with him? Like, is he playing? I love it. I think it's fair play to WWE. They know that he's hated. They know that he's not probably the finished article, but he's on. He's got a title, the North American champion. He's on NXT. He's on Raw. He's been on SmackDown. Yep. WWE seem to be capitalizing on what is a hatred towards Dom. What do you make of where they're going with him, mate? Like you say, they kicked off Raw, pretty much similar to the start that Raw done last week, apart from they switched it. It was, KO and Sami come out, which you're going to get to in a minute because KO is legitimately now injured.
Yep.
Interesting to see. But what do you think of where they're going with the Judgment Day? A lot of people saying, they're just doing what they're doing on SmackDown, but with the Judgment Day on Raw, a la, what they're doing over with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. What do you make of what they're doing with the Judgment Day? Because they are everywhere on a Monday and a Tuesday.
And a Friday. Dominik Mysterio was the first man to main event SmackDown, NXT, and Raw in the same week.
No.
It's all about, listen, WWE are not stupid. Vince Russo done it. He used to do quarter-by-quarter ratings to see what worked. This is doing 2 million views across their platforms. Mm-hmm. Dominik Mysterio. So if people think he sucks, turn channel over. Because until that dips, he ain't going anywhere. They have said that the sheets have said that once the Bloodline finishes, it's Judgment Day. So get used to it, or don't put the wrestling on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it, bearing in mind that we're speculating now. If Finn wins the title on Saturday, then obviously you've got Damian with the brief. I think what a lot of people, I was chatting to a friend about this today, just over a text message. He thinks they're going to be the Bloodline 2.0, as in they're going to have the tag titles soon. We've obviously got Rhea with the women's title. We've got Dom with the North American title now. And we're potentially going to have Finn with the World Heavyweight title. That just leaves the Intercontinental title, which, is the only one left on Raw, which maybe could be going to Drew McIntyre. But apart from that, the Judgment Day could have all the titles in their faction and the Money in the Bank briefcase. I mean, what do you make of that?
Yeah, they could do. Or Priest could just cash it in elsewhere. Not necessarily Roman. Don't forget, this briefcase gives you... He could cash that in with Dominik on the tag title. With Kevin and Sami, with Kevin now injured, it could be a prime way of
getting the briefcase done. Yeah. Because have you read how long KO's actually injured for? I haven't really. I know him and Liv are legitimately injured. And I wrote in my notes, which we'll get to it later, about the live segment that they've done on Raw this week. You can clearly see where they've done it because they've got a writer off TV for a good, however long. But I quite like the start of Raw. I quite like where they were going with the Judgment Day. I like the fact that everyone hates them, and you know, a lot of people are moaning, oh, well, you know, it's always about the Judgment Day on Raw. But yeah, it was a running theme, easy for me to say, theme through the show. Were you surprised that Sami Zayn and Dominik Mysterio got announced for a title match on Monday Night Raw?
No, I think they had to do something, and you can't. Priest is sort of in a dodgy, not saying a dodgy spot, but he's in a sort of spot where he can't really go for a title unless he's cashing in. So he's kind of doing what he done this week, which we'll get to with Apollo Crews. Finn is going for the world title. Rhea's kind of just destroying everybody, including the men. And it just leaves Dominik. And Sami Zayn does have the NXT lineage behind him. Because obviously he was in NXT. He was NXT for so long. So it made perfect sense to put him in with Dominik and have the title match, even though you knew that you weren't dropping to Sami Zayn at that particular time. But it was still logical and the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I thought Raw got off to a solid start. We then moved on to Becky Lynch versus Zoey Stark. Becky wins. She gets a shot at Trish Stratus. We kind of all knew where this match was going. You know, it's very predictable, but I quite like where they've gone with Becky. They've kind of gone back to the old school Bex, the man, dressed her like she used to be. They're trying to make her look as hard as she used to be. Are you excited for Becky Trish SummerSlam? I mean, Trish didn't do a lot at Money in the Bank. She got injured during the match, which probably didn't help. She can still go. I think it was a bit of a misrepresentation at WrestleMania when there's loads of them in the ring. You don't. But I think a one-on-one match, Becky and Trish at SummerSlam, I think potentially could be very good.
It will be. I think it's, what is it? Trish won the first one, did she not?
Yeah, Trish won the first one.
And they had Money in the Bank.
Then they had Money in the Bank, and now they've got this one at SummerSlam. So yeah, there's no it's just a one-on-one match. Becky versus Trish. I think it'll be a hell of a match. You know, it's kind of the old and the new kind of. WWE are great at doing this, you know. Rock and Hogan and Cena's done it before, you know. I mean, you know, one for the ages, kind of. They love to bill it, don't they? It's like one for the ages. They've done it with Charlotte Flair. Once in a lifetime, never again. But but it will happen again. Trust us. You know, it will happen in years to come. Charlotte Flair will come back as the person, and he'll be an up and comer. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this match at SummerSlam. I think it'll be quite good, mate.
It should be good. Did you see the Easter eggs? Not official Easter eggs, but did you see the Easter eggs when Becky was backstage?
Enlighten me. I did see the backstage interview, but
so she had a skull, and then she looked up, and there was a bird in the light.
Oh, okay. We're not thinking? Are we thinking the same thing here?
Probably.
What are you thinking?
Bray.
Yeah. I've seen rumors about that this week, but
oh
God,
the rumors are that he's going to get involved or be involved in one, and they're going to do another triple main event thing, I think, by the sound. So you know what WWE love these triple things. Yeah, he's meant to be getting involved in one of them. I'm suspecting, and we know that he wasn't drafted. So I'm suspecting here that when we touch on Cody and Brock in a minute, the next feud for Cody is going to be Bray.
Yeah, I've got an interesting theory about Cody, which
not an Austin theory, an interesting.
Not an Austin theory, an interesting theory. Yeah, I'm not as boring as Austin theory is right now, but that's a whole different show. We'll save that for Saturday morning. Yeah, Cody was up next, mate. He come out and cut a good promo. Sold the arm again. He's getting good at selling. That arm's been broken more times than eggs. I think it's yeah, he does sell that arm. He was only doing the whoa with one arm, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ! Don't get me wrong, I love Cody to death. I mean, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
But they do sell that arm a bit. I like the thing that I'm interested in to get your opinion, mate. Cody keeps talking in chapters. I think come WrestleMania, it's gonna be a whole let's play these chapters back. It's gonna be chapter 1 was Brock, chapter 2 was
chapter 1 was losing to Roman.
Yeah, chapter 1 was losing to Roman. Then he moved on to Brock. Then he might move on to Bray. Then he could move on to, we'll throw something out there, Sami Zayn or Kevin. I don't know. Anyway, I think it would be Randy Orton. Yeah, hope, pray to God he comes back at SummerSlam. But I just got a feeling that you can kind of see where they're going with it, because if you notice every promo he does, it's right. This chapter is this, and this chapter, you can kind of see the WWE cogs backstage thinking, right, this is how we're going to build. This is how, when we get to WrestleMania, this is how we're going to play it out. Chapter this, chapter that, and then it's going to culminate from Roman all the way to Roman. I think that's how they're going to do it. What about you?
Yes, I didn't pick up on the chapter set. It was really early when I watched it, so you were a bit more awake than I was, picking up on the Cody chapter, which is good. But knowing WWE and knowing how good they are at their production and stuff and such, that will probably be what they do. It will be like a book, and his entrance will probably be about 45 minutes long, as they do at WrestleMania. It will be like this big chapter of a book. Someone will narrate it, and then his music will hit, and then he will come out. I don't think he will ever bash a throne in again, but potentially finish the story, which, then this is it. The start of the story, as it was the loss to Rome. It was a loss to Rome, not the Rumble. The end of the story is going back.
I found it. I put it in my notes when I was making my notes as I was watching.
You must have started like being Booker Burrows after Sunday Ignite, looking at run sheets.
Loved it. That's it. We're looking at run sheets, getting in the ring at Buckle Up. Oh, got me all excited. But yeah, that's how I think they're going to go with it. I'll be interested to see his promos moving forward if you keep mentioning chapters and stuff. We then had a little backstage segment with Ricochet looking for
Logan Paul.
Yeah. I don't know.
Coincidentally, what do you, if this third match does have a gimmick to it? It's getting a bit late in the day now, but what would it be?
I just think it'll be street fight, Falls Count Anywhere kind of
I'm going
scenario.
For a cowbell match, good old fashioned cowbell.
It's quite interesting that they're saying like I'm going to embarrass you. So I don't know.
I quit.
Well, it might be. Brock's on Raw. He's scheduled for this coming Monday.
Of course,
he's scheduled on Raw, so something could be announced where. I think there'll be a stipulation thrown in. I don't think it's just going to be a one-on-one wrestling match. I think it's going to be something street fight.
No, it could be a traditional wrestling match. Brock's an NCAA champion.
Could be.
He's had more returns than Boris Johnson tried to get into Parliament, though, hasn't he? Brock every other week is Brock returns, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think it'll be something. I don't think it'll be on the scale of, because it's SummerSlam though. They need to Hell in a Cell.
I would have loved it. I saw something.
I loved it, but I think Triple H mentioned they're kind of getting away from that. He mentioned it in the Royal Rumble presser, didn't he?
It won't be. It won't be, but I would love 3 Stages of Hell to come back.
Oh, could you imagine?
But maybe Brock would be in a match too long then. You know what he's like. He doesn't do long matches.
Cage. I like the maybe an old-fashioned cage match. Something like
blue one.
Do you remember the blue one, man? I'd love to just have an old school pay-per-view with the blue cage, and fucking every time someone climbed it looked like it was going to fucking fall down anyway. I watched the Mick Foley documentary the other day, funny enough, on YouTube, and they were talking about the cell that they used for the first Hell in a Cell. Obviously, when they done the second bit, when he climbed back up, he wasn't meant to fall through. He was choke slammed him, and he was just meant to land on it, and he fucking obviously went through the ring, hit his head, and he was saying that was never obviously meant to happen. For those that don't know, obviously go and watch the documentary on YouTube. Great. It's really good. Honestly, it's a good 45-minute, 50-minute documentary. But I'd love to see something like a traditional cage match. It might be, I don't know, Falls Count Anywhere, Last Man Standing could be interesting.
He done one the other year, though, didn't he?
Done one, I suppose, yeah. I think it'll be something. Or it could just be a strike. The only problem is I can't see Brock getting pinned for the 1, 2, 3. So it's got to be he can't make the 10 count, or he's literally just passed out and the referee stoppages. I can't see them pinning. Well, why do I say that? Then Goldberg beat him in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Survivor Series. So yeah, who knows, mate. We then moved on to. I was quite surprised. This match was officially like the second match on Raw. Sami Zayn and Dominik Mysterio. Dom got a lot of stick for this match on social media. The Hurricane Runner that he done, and everyone was like, "Oh, is this wrestling these days?" I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest. I mean, fucking hell, I've seen a lot worse. I mean, Dom gets a lot of shit. I didn't get why Finn didn't come out with the Judgment Day. The only thing that twigged in my brain was, Finn's interfered. That's why he's not coming out, because it culminated in everyone getting barred from ringside.
Yeah.
KO, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest. And so then my brain went straight away, that's why Finn didn't come out. He's going to interfere. Alas, that didn't happen. I mean, I don't quite get why Finn wasn't there, because he only had the segment at the end with Seth Rollins that we're going to get to, but I don't know why Finn wasn't in that. It culminated in, you know, the Judgment Day and KO getting barred from ringside. They had a fairly decent match. Looks like Sami's going to get the win, and obviously the Judgment Day throw KO, but from behind the old school curtain. Look at me, curtain. Like, curtain hasn't been a fucking thing for about 20 years. Yeah, and obviously Sami runs out, and, you know, Dom gets... The only thing I didn't really like about this was the end, you know, the grabbing of the tights. I thought it was I'd rather done a count out that, you know, Sami goes to save KO and he gets counted out, or Priest hits him with a chair or something like that. I didn't like the tights. I thought that was a bit of a weird. What did you make? I think it was an okay match. It was quite. I enjoyed it, but I just thought the finish could have been done better.
It was better than what people have said. I mean, people were going to crap on it just because of that. It wasn't even a botch spot. It was just the Blue Thunder Bomb, and Dom was a bit low on the trajectory side of things. And
he still pulled off the move.
Still pulled it off. It still worked fine. Yeah, the only thing I'm getting a bit annoyed with is the Judgment Day. It's a bit like, do you remember Mania when Solo got banned and then he come running back and hit Cody?
And still,
that kind of thing's wearing on me a little bit with Judgment Day, because it's happening every time. Well, any of them really. Well, maybe not so much Priest, but certainly with Dominik, and it's happening all the time. So I'd like to see that bit stop. You're right. They could have done a count out finish. They could have done any DQ finish, really. And that's the only bit that's annoying me. But the match itself, I thought, was passable. Look, listen, Dominik still, you got to remember, he's only been doing this, a couple of years?
2 years, 2.5 years,
you know, one of those years was in pandemic. So give him a break. He's just literally starting out. Yeah. And listen, he's not going to turn around to WWE and go, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be pushed to the moon because I'm not ready for it. If they think you're ready, guess what? You're going in. And are you going to turn down the merch money when Judgment Day shirts come in? No, I don't think so.
And like I said at the start, WWE ain't stupid. They can see he's getting booed out of every building he goes to. They're like, right, we're capitalizing. John Cena got booed out of every building he went on, like back in the day. It's happened before. It will happen again. We then had a little backstage before we got to Bronson Reed versus Ciampa. We had a little backstage segment. Apollo Crews challenge Damian Priest. As soon as this happened, I was like, "Ooh, squash match." You know, it's good. Again, Apollo Crews, another one. We say this a lot on this show and interviews we've done. We ask wrestlers about this. People getting lost in the process. Apollo Crews was big back in the original NXT days. Then when I done that stupid, was it that Nigerian gimmick thing he done, wasn't it? With the, I didn't quite, he sounded like Augustus from Phone Jacker. I want to take all the 1 piece and 2 piece. I didn't quite get that. And now he's on a, don't get me wrong, all the wrestlers we've spoke to have always said, any TV time is good time. I think you've said it. If you're on Raw for 5 seconds, you make them 5 seconds count. Vince Russo said it to us when we spoke to him. Any TV time, you make the most of it. Apollo Crews had a tiny bit of TV time, which we'll get to, but that was the backstage segment setting that up.
Had a bit of Nakamura as well.
Yeah, a bit of Nakamura, you know, saying that him and I think that's going to go a 3-way at SummerSlam by the looks of it. I think they'll announce that this week. Ciampa.
They're meant to be making a bit more. They're meant to be making Nakamura a bit more edgier.
I kind of see where they're going.
I need to do something with him.
Because back in the, you think when he originally cut, and this goes for Apollo Crews, this goes for Nakamura. This goes for lots of wrestlers that have come and been there, and now you're kind of like, where are you? Kind of thing. But, you know, Bobby Roode, you think back in the NXT, the whole intro, the choir behind him, the NXT takeovers, brought up to the main roster, nothing happens. But, Bronson Reed, Ciampa, what did you make of it? I thought it was
like both of them.
I'm really interested to see where they go with these guys. For a big dude, Jesus Christ, Bronson Reed can move.
He can, and Ciampa will probably segue back to Gargano to recreate DIY. Bronson Reed should just be pushed to the moon as quickly as possible, because I love Bronson Reed. I can't talk. It's him and Gable for me on Raw are the two ones that I'd like to see. There was quite a bit of the funny segment that you moved the Axel to Tozawa.
It's funny
during that backstage with Apollo, and was hilarious. But I enjoyed the match. I can enjoy Ciampa. I've liked Ciampa for ages. Bronson Reed has been great. The fact that he left and come back and has actually been quite a success. If you look at the people like Strowman that hasn't quite got there, and people like that have not really done a lot, he's come back and have just carried on a reign of terror, and they need to find something for him meaningful, though.
The only thing I didn't get again was the ending to the match, the so-called distraction Shinsuke come down.
Yes.
Distracted Ciampa, and then Bronson Reed got the pin for the
Well, it was about
it.
Ciampa said, "Don't get involved."
Don't get involved. Yeah, I'm guessing SummerSlam Ciampa versus Reed versus Shinsuke, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know, to be honest. Miz was involved with Ciampa the other week, so I thought that was going to set up the return of DIY, because Miz was sort of sided with Bronson Reed again, and then that. I'm not saying that would have been a match at SummerSlam, but that would have been a perfect way to bring Gargano's back, who's just sitting in catering, eating chicken and rice. So it's, just bring. He's a great wrestler. I don't think with Gargano, like, he's not the type of guy I'd strap a big belt to. But if you put him with Ciampa, that's another. And they are a tag team. It's not like they've thrown these guys together. These guys are a tag team.
Gargano carried NXT for years, and it's mad to think. He's in ring matches. Yeah, you go back and watch some of them NXT takeovers like Brooklyn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, some of the best wrestling matches you'll see. I thought, it's again interesting to see what they do with these guys on Raw. We then had Rhea and Liv didn't really get started. They got to the whole "we need to write Liv off TV."
Yes.
Rhea comes. The match is not even started. Rhea blindsides Liv, kicks the living shit out of her, chair to the arm, stomps in it a million times. Yeah, Liv's basically going to be written off TV for however. Do you know what her injury is?
I think it's a broken arm, funnily enough.
Right, is it really? Yeah, because I know they legitimately, her and KO legitimately injured, need to take time. The KO one, they're trying to work through apparently to get him to SummerSlam, so he probably won't be involved in anything physical this Monday, but I don't know what they're going to do if he can. I think they're trying to play it by ear. Liv's definitely going to be written off TV for a while. Rhea Ripley, who does she go into a kind of feud with? What do they really do with her now? And you're looking from the
I
suppose she's not really. You got SmackDown, she could go. It's kind of the draft hasn't really mattered to her, or any of the Judgment Day for that. I know you get irate about the draft. I don't want to get you started. But what does Rhea do? She's got a match at SummerSlam.
No.
So this week on Raw, I'm guessing they're going to set.
I thought it'd been Raquel. I thought that was where they were going to go.
Yeah, right. I think that's where they're potentially going. I reckon they'll go this week on Raw. Raquel will come out. You injured Liv. You cost the tag team titles. You cost us them. I'm challenging you to a match at SummerSlam. Rhea's not losing that. I think the only title change I can see at SummerSlam is Finn.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending where they go with the women's tag team, you got Sonya and Chelsea Green. They have done a little backstage segment with Rhea, and then I don't know what they're going to do with them at SummerSlam. There's a lot still up in the air about SummerSlam. But yeah, how about me, Booking? What are you doing with Rhea moving forward? Because a lot of people again on social media, what are they doing with Rhea Ripley? She hasn't defended the title in God knows. Billy Bob sitting in his mum's basement,
Well, she had a match in NXT last night. I watched this morning. So she's everywhere. Just because she doesn't defend the title. I mean, yeah, I know they used
to put too much onto that these days, mate. It needs to be back in a lot of people. Roman Reigns hasn't defended his title for 60 million years, and Rhea Ripley hasn't defended her title for 27,000 days. Do you think? It's good to have the titles as a prominent point, which I've always made about these wrestling shows. But do we put too much onus on them being? Are we in a new era now of wrestling? I get that. Even maybe me and you have to get our heads around, and I'm kind of coming to it now because I'm kind of used to not Roman Reigns defending his title. It'll be good to see him do it at SummerSlam, but is that the kind of the way wrestling is nowadays?
It's most of them. I mean, it should be when the titles are defended, it should be big. Not saying they should lose, but they should be big.
Yeah, meaningful.
Meaningful, and just to have title matches every week for the sake of having title matches. I mean, back in the 80s, there used to be the old 30-day rule. You had to defend it once in 30 days. Roman Reigns would have lost it about 4 times, but it is the new thing, and it makes those events special. Like, I don't need to see Roman Reigns defend the title every week or every pay-per-view for that matter, because I know that when he defends a title, it's going to be box office. So who cares? Rhea Ripley, realistically, when you look at it, right, and if to quote Russo, if this were really real, who's beating her?
Yeah, now as well. There's no one really.
Right now, who's got a legitimate chance of beating Rhea Ripley? No one. What I think,
legit, as we talking real.
Well, maybe like Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey, yeah.
But like in turn, but that's really about maybe Shayna Baszler, even if she's a.
We're going to get to that. That'll be a good fight.
Yes. What do I think will happen with Rhea after? I can see Becky and Seth going together against Rhea and maybe
I like
Priest.
it.
Or Damian. Damian?
Yes.
Dominik. Damian.
Oh,
Damian Trotter. Getting me in.
You've been watching Only Fools and Horses today, mate.
Dominik Mysterio. So they could do like I know they don't want to do too much on air with them being a couple and all that, but
I think they're in enough trouble off air, aren't they? Dom and Rhea, from what I'm not here to speculate, but apparently shit's going down. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I was talking about Seth and Becky.
Oh, sorry, mate. I just remember reading the dirt sheets this week about Dom now. Rhea's now apparently single and she's not with what's his name?
Buddy.
AEW. Yeah, have you not read all that this week?
No, I've gone.
Yeah, I was scrolling through it today. And take what you read on the internet with a pinch of salt, but apparently, her and Buddy are no more, and Dom and Rhea are close off screen more than they should be. Anyway, I digress. The Alpha Academy were backstage in a very funny segment. Maxine's first match was announced next week. She's going one-on-one with Valhalla of the Viking Raiders. I want to see. I didn't see enough of the Alpha Academy this week. I love them. I really hope that they do more. I know you're a huge fan, mate, but Maxine versus Valhalla next week on Raw, the Viking Raiders. I think they'll segue into Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders.
They're doing Academy rules.
Yeah, it's Academy. It's going to be hilarious, no matter what.
Spelling tests and Christ knows what.
It's going to be hilarious, and it's probably going to lead into SummerSlam. I'm guessing them.
Here's the thing, and I don't, we do this. We don't like tribalism and all this stuff, right? But yeah, listen to this, right? That will get crapped on next week, right? If it was on the other channel, it would be Oscar winning.
Oh, yeah.
Because look at all the silly stuff that as I say, I love AEW. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, I made a point of it the other week when Adam Cole and that were doing all his dancing and stuff like that with Garcia and all that. That had been on Raw. Oh, Meltzer would have been throwing his stuff out the window. Everyone would be, oh my god, this is crap. You put that Viking rules thing or Academy rules thing on Dynamite, they'll want Oscars for it. They'll want Emmy awards for it.
Oh yeah, it'll be red carpets.
But because this is what I was trying to say the other week about it. It's hilarious. And don't get me wrong, I think MJF and Adam Cole was funny. But all I say is put that on Raw. It's a totally different. You get a totally different response.
Yeah. I mean, you used to have all these kind of funny segments during the Attitude Era. I mean, back when The Rock
Angle with the milk and
Angle with the milk, Austin with his little hat on and his guitar, and The Rock's meeting it. Rock met his teacher, and This Is Your Life with Mick Foley.
Hurricane and The Rock.
Back in they used to do it all the time, but now I don't know what's going on with wrestling fans.
Too much tribalism involved in it.
There's very much AEW, WWE, and let's not get involved in that. Ricochet was in the ring next, calling out Logan Paul.
Yes, he was.
He called him an arrogant prick. Oh,
I was quite surprised when I heard the way he called him prick twice.
Yeah, thrown out on Monday Night Raw. Maybe
it's top of the third hour by any chance.
Yeah, maybe the Attitude Era isn't dead.
They have keep saying that they're going to make the third hour a bit more edgy.
Yeah, I have heard. I've read something yesterday that they're looking at doing an old school episode of Raw, and everyone was like, please do an Attitude Era episode.
Oh, they've got it, right?
Could you imagine all these people that never, don't get me wrong, it'll be Attitude Era 2.0, but wow, I would absolutely love it. But yeah, Logan come out, attacked Ricochet, but Ricochet, and they kind of, Logan was streaming live, or so this is where we are with wrestling in 2023. Logan was streaming live, Ricochet super kicked him in the face, challenge accepted, and who wants to see Logan Paul versus Ricochet? SummerSlam, I personally think it'll be a good match. I think the match will be fine. Is it opening SummerSlam?
Yeah, because Logan Paul's getting on a jet and going to watch his brother have a fight.
Oh, shit. Right, okay. So there you go. Breaking news.
When you're in Spain and you're lapping up the sun and all that
will be lapping it up, mate.
You will be watching Logan and Ricochet open the show, as far as I'm aware. That's still
okay. I think the match, you know what? I think it'll be okay. I think if Logan listens to Ricochet, and it's going to be a lot of I think it's going to be a lot of very high spots. There's
trampoline wrestling, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I don't know how you're going to like it. There's going to be a lot of flying through the ropes.
I've gotten used to it now. I'm still not like a big fan of that stuff, but look, it's 2023 wrestling, and you've got to watch it, and you've got to like it or lump it.
Yeah. Talking of liking it or lumping it, the next segment was Shayna Baszler was backstage. She challenged Ronda Rousey to a fight. I said this to you 2 weeks ago. Are we now going to get our first ever crossy over UFC, WWE, not octagon, but kind of fight? I mean, yeah.
Bring back the fight pit.
Yeah, for those watching on YouTube, I'm doing my air quotes. is this going to be as close as we're going to get to this new crossover type thing? Are they going to just have a good old fashioned UFC fight, albeit WWE?
Choreographed.
You kind of get what I'm saying, yeah. It's going to look like it's UFC, but it's with a WWE spin. If that makes sense.
Yes, and yes, I do. It wouldn't be surprised if they brought back the Fight Pit from NXT. That would be, that would be ideal. But yeah, as long as they give it the time. I mean, he might not last massively long. We know Ronda's probably on her way out again for another holiday or whatever she wants.
She's going back to the UFC. Apparently, it's already been agreed. It's been signed. She's going back to the US. I think she's scheduled to be not the next pay-per-view, the one after. I think in Vegas. I think she's scheduled the end of August, beginning of September. I think there's something. Dana White was saying that there's been something about her going back to the UFC to rejuvenalize the division, but I don't know how true that is. But maybe now, because maybe that could be a thing that they do now. Because people do forget, because of the UFC and the WWE thing, she can still stay signed to WWE and go and work for the UFC. Brock Lesnar could do it, for all we know. This could be the way that we move. People do forget about this new deal that's been signed, and don't get me wrong, we haven't really noticed anything to it per se, but could this be the first signs of a little crossover kind of thing?
It could be.
Let's talk of Conor McGregor coming in for WrestleMania.
Jesus Christ, he's mouths 3 words out of his brain. I don't want him. Look, easy box office, yes. But
they do come WrestleMania though, innit? They always get that one Floyd Mayweather. They always get, that the geezer from Arrow, he's scheduled for Raw in a couple
Stephen
of weeks.
Amell, isn't it?
Stephen Amell's scheduled for Raw this week, or he's
scheduled
the
for one
Raw.
Who'll get beaten up by Brock Lesnar then.
The next 2 weeks, he's scheduled for Raw. I think I saw it. I'm pretty sure he's coming on soon. But I reckon
to the UFC.
Apparently so. Apparently, what I've been told, but I don't know how true.
I think her time's done in her. I think she was unstoppable. She got found out, and then I don't think she ever won a match since, did she?
No, and next thing you know, she's in the WWE. I think.
Next thing you know, she's coming out of the Royal Rumble. So, good luck.
Yeah. Damian Priest then squashed the living bejesus in match number 5. I put kind of match in my little notes. It was old school WWE Raw match. They could have done this with I think Dave said last week on the Raw review he would rather these kind of matches are against a local talent. Do you remember back in the day?
Yeah,
so they're in. Adam Cousins from London, England, is fighting against Stone. It was a local guy that
mate, I would have got Stone Cold Steve.
Yeah, you would have whooped his ass, mate. I know, you would have killed him. But yeah, I don't know why they done this. I think if Dave was here now, I was kind of going to ask him the same, because he mentioned it last week on the Raw review. He would rather see a localish guy come in and get squashed by Damian. Because what does that do for Apollo Crews on Monday?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So why not just put, I don't know where was it this week, Raw? I can't even remember. Wherever it's from, just say this guy's from here. You'll get a nice pop. He'll have his friends and family in the crowd, and we'll Tampa Bay. Shit football team. But why didn't they just get a local guy out? What did that do for Apollo Crews? I kind of get why I done it. They had the whole backstage segment, and they want Damian Priest to look good, but I don't know. It was the only thing for me that was a little downside to Raw, because I really enjoyed Raw this week.
You mentioned it before. It's time, isn't it?
Yeah.
We haven't seen Apollo since he got drafted. I mean, doesn't really bode well if we haven't seen him, and then he comes in. He might have been on. I think he was on some main event matches that were really good, but it doesn't bode well when you go up to Raw and you haven't seen him. It was like Odyssey Jones has disappeared into the Odyssey since he got drafted.
Yeah, where's he?
In the Odyssey, probably. But he comes in and Priest squashes him. I mean, yeah, he would have just been better having Dave Smith or something like that, Dave Robinson even.
He'd kick his ass
on Raw. You'd been better off.
It'd take the ring announcer 20 minutes to announce Dave with all his nicknames. Never get to the fucking ring and be like, "Come on, Dave, mate." So we next had, here we go, Take My Money. We had the Drew McIntyre segment. He ended up taking on Ludwig Kaiser.
Oh, mate, Corey on commentary.
How funny was his impression?
Oh, my God.
His impression was spot on. I hope he does that backstage a lot when they're all just chilling out and catering or something.
Immense.
But yeah, he took on Ludwig Kaiser. He had the one-on-one with Gunther, and then they decided, let's get a referee out here, mate. And again, it was a bit like when me and you were at the Buckle Up event on Sunday, the slaps that you hear. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Him and Drew and Kaiser went at it, but I can't wait. It ended up with Gunther getting put through a table by Drew standing with the IC title. I said earlier that I think Seth is the only title change potentially at SummerSlam. Did I get it wrong? Do we see an IC change, do you reckon, mate?
No, I hope not. Because all that would mean is Drew's got his way.
As in, he moaned that he wanted to come back and have the push, and because
and everyone was looking, he's coming in all in. We were sitting there saying, no, he's not.
Do you remember all them idiots tweeting?
Oh my God, it was showing the graphic. Drew Galloway's all in, and we just sat here on this probably a Raw review saying he's not, because he's got so long left in his contract. But I hope not, really, because Gunther hasn't beaten Honky Tonk Man's record yet.
No, it's not far away.
Not far away. He's probably about 60, 50 odd days away.
Something like that, mate.
So he needs to do that. And I think WWE want to take that away from the Honky Tonk Man, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if they're on the best of terms. So I think now they've got an opportunity, they'll make it happen. It'll probably be a stupid DQ finish or something at SummerSlam. But take my money, yes. Drew McIntyre winning, no. But your mate come in at the end of that and all, didn't he? And got beaten up as well. Riddle.
In jeans and all. I was like, who's this guy? Oh, fuck me, it's Matt Riddle. He's got jeans on. Yeah, I'm glad he got the shit kicked out of him. I'm guessing they might be leaning towards doing something after SummerSlam with the three of them. I think
why don't they do a three-way and Drew doesn't have to take the pin? We've heard this before in wrestling politics world, haven't we?
We have, mate. I think I've heard this 1 or 6,000 times. They could do, and something could be announced on Raw on Monday that it becomes a three-way, or I don't know.
They won't shame us. It'll still be good.
Yeah, mate, I'm looking forward to the match. I'm with you. I hope Gunther doesn't drop the title at SummerSlam, but I don't know. I'm still with Seth. Where
does Randy Orton fit into all of this?
Apparently, everyone was like this at Money in the Bank, though. Apparently, he was seen in London. He had all that complete fucking dirt sheet bollocks. Do you think SummerSlam is where Randy Orton reappears?
Well,
is it to do with the IC and Gunther and,
Or is it just a big Riddle up? You'd love that, wouldn't you?
If he turns on, gives him the big hug, oh, welcome back, bam, RKO's him in the middle of the ring. I'll be running, I'll do a lap sham, I'll Villa in Spain.
Look, I think it's one of these things, we don't know how he is. He's back. He won't be able to do the RKO. Would he even be able to do it? Because we don't know how bad the back is. He's apparently his old man said that he can't come back, and the doctor said this, but then he's been rumoured where Theory have brought a new version of Voices out, which I've got. And
people just put two and two together and getting 28.
Yeah, I think he will be. With SummerSlam, it would make sense. Look, Money in the Bank, we had two big returns. We had McIntyre, we had Cena. They say Brock for Raw, which is what we said they were going to do. And when they haven't said Randy Orton yet, he's going to return. It will be SummerSlam for me, anyway.
No, I'm with you. We then Ronda Rousey accepted Shayna Baszler's challenge. SummerSlam. Next segment. And then Finn Balor come out. Finn and Seth ended the show. Finn come out, the contract signing, yada, yada, yada. And as soon as that happened, I was like, the Judgment Day are going to come down and beat the living shit out of Seth. And it happened. Sami Zayn tried to come down and save him. They both took an ass kicking. Judgment Day in the show. Boom, in the middle of the ring, the way pretty much how Raw started. Judgment Day ruled. Are you excited for Seth versus Finn? I think it'll be a good match-ish. I don't know if I'm going to sound like an arsehole here. I love Seth, but I don't know how impressed I've been with this run. Who did Dave say it about? He isn't MJF. He said he hasn't. I've kind of got that. And everyone knows WWE, cut me there, I'm bleeding it. I just don't know how impressed. I think they've just done this because of the whole Roman Reigns thing. And, they've got Seth wrestling on NXT. They've got him wrestling on Monday Night Raw. They've got him wrestling wherever they fucking let him wrestle. They're going to wrestle. I think it's WWE way of going, here's a champion and he's wrestling just to appease all you arseholes on the internet going, oh, I want to see him wrestling. What do you make of it? Have you enjoyed this run so far? I'm not a big fan of the what? Yeah, everyone knows.
I know that.
Yeah, everyone knows I fucking hate that. But I don't know. I think it'll be a good match, mate. But I think Finn wins.
I think he said the word 7 year itch. In Coleman, you're talking about chapters.
Mm-hmm.
I've been impressed with Seth's run. It's been a run that I would have expected. There's not been any major The only surprise was him going on NXT against Braun Breaker. Really, yeah, it was Braun Breaker. Well, yeah, it was.
Yes, Surprised he hasn't been called up yet.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, I think he's going to be. I think he'll go straight into the mix as well. Maybe with a Seth or Finn, or does he join the Judgment Day? I don't know what they're going to do with him. I'm guessing he's coming to Raw. I guess he's not.
I think and his missus will be joining him because Cora Jade lost a match last night to Dana Brooke, funnily enough, on NXT.
I'm going to try and
kendo stick match, and then she put on Twitter, "Bye." Obviously she's under contract, so before AEW, she's not.
WWE tweeted it, not her.
So she's staying with, but I think it's her time to get caught up. So I would imagine, because they do put couples together now, that they will go to wherever they probably Raw. But the question actually I asked Dave, and I wanted to ask you, Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh yes,
WWE.
Yes.
Now this can go two ways, and I mentioned this with Dave on Collision, so I'm interested to get your view quickly before we wrap up. When they done Goldberg, they got the weakness of him and they exploited it. And they were saying this was your champion that went 175 and he can't wrestle a 20-minute match. Brian Pillman hasn't done anything of note in AEW. So are the WWE going to go, this is the star that you could have had, and make him this? Or I'm not saying world champ. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, but I'm sort of. Are they going to position him into a point where he's going to be a lot better presented than what he was in AEW, and WWE are going to go, this is what you could have had, or this is how good he is, and you didn't get him to it, or is he just going to fall to bits and be lost in the shuffle?
I don't think WWE care about AEW.
No, you said that before.
I generally don't. I mean, a lot of people mention it all the time. I just think WWE has just on the. They know that AEW is there. Of course they do. They know the Impact are there. They know that everyone else is there. But I think they've generally signed him. It's not like he's going to debut on NXT and everyone's going to go, oh, it's the guy from AEW.
Yeah.
The audience is going to be like, who's this guy? And it'll be announced, and that's how generally I think he'll get taken. People like me and you and Dave and Parker and everyone else that watches wrestling, be like, oh yeah, he was in AEW. Yeah. I think he'll be put in NXT. I could see him maybe being in a tag team. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be on his own. I hope he is, because he is a very good talent. As for WWE going, well, this is what we'll do with him, and we'll prove that you shouldn't used him. If it goes that way and he turns out to be a really good star, of course they're going to. Everyone's going to put 2 and 2 together again and be like, oh, well, this is what you had him. I don't think WWE give a shit. I say this all the time. WWE don't care about AEW. They really don't. And there's plenty of people out there that say they do. But in my opinion, you've only got to look around, when SummerSlam rolls around. It's going to be WrestleMania, 70, 80. Don't get me wrong, it's great that AEW are going to sell out Wembley Stadium. That's because it's here. And it's because it's UK fans, and they're always in the UK fans will sell out any wrestling event, big wrestling event that comes here. They'll sell it out, whether that's Wembley Stadium, whether that's Cardiff, whether that's somewhere up Hampden in Scotland. Wherever you put that event, it was always going to sell out. As for WWE and worrying and Pillman, and I think they'll put him on NXT, mate. And I think they will do. I think they're developing better. They'll give him a chance and say, look, go in NXT. Have a storyline that's going to run a month, 2 months. Then we'll see where you are. It's not going to be a case of come to NXT quickly, go to Raw, and we're going to push you and go, oh, AEW, fuck you. I don't think it's going to be like that, mate.
Would he keep his name?
Yeah.
Do you think that? Because obviously,
I think they'll play on the. Yeah, I think they'll play on the whole Pillman thing, loose cannon. For those that have,
Dame Austin ain't got a son. They could have recreated.
Oh my god! Yeah, they could have. Yeah, could have. Or they could have him sitting in his living room with a gun. Remember that? Remember that segment?
Yes, I do remember that. And the gun going off at the end of
the
Raw.
Gun going off. Yeah.
When we say how you got to end Raw, we're watching it next week, and they shoot a gun at the end of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and that's how it went. The screen went black, didn't it? And Raw went off the air, and we were all like, they've just gone off with someone. That's how you get people watching next week.
So you get the cops called and get cut off the air.
Yeah. But that's what we had to deal with in the Attitude Era. But no, mate, I'm giving. I know Raw. I'm giving it a solid, another 8.5 again for me, mate. I thought it was 2 weeks running. I've been impressed with WWE Raw. Was it great? No. Was it terrible? No. Did I fast forward any of it? No. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be slightly less. I'm gonna give it an 8. But again, I didn't fast forward anything.
No.
It wasn't terrible.
They're the best one to watch, mate, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you know on a Wednesday, if you download it on Sky, there's no adverts.
I bought Virgin.
No, but it's the same download.
Oh, right, okay.
So when you type in Raw, it comes up Raw highlights, but it's not. It's the full show, no adverts. So when Corey will be like, we'll be back after this break on that highlight. For anyone listening to this or in the UK, just download that. There's no fucking adverts. I mean, I've just passed forward all the adverts, but yeah, I thought it was good. But yeah, 8 for you, mate. Yeah, not bad. I thought.
Good start to the wrestling week.
Yeah, we have got a busy week. We've got guests coming up this week. We are interviewing a big one tonight. We've got our AEW Dynamite review. We've got Rampage. We've got Collision. Well, Dave and
we're going down that level. We'll do Dynamite. We'll do Collision, SmackDown.
Collision will be mentioned on the Rampage. Will be mentioned on the Collision review. Okay. We'll be back Saturday morning for our SmackDown review. And then I'm leaving you for 2 weeks. And
it's going to be down to me and Mr. Dave and Parker.
Yeah, you, Dave and Parker. I'll be listening. I'll be a loyal listener while sitting next to the
few top tens as well, man.
Yeah, I might try and squeak on for the SummerSlam review on my phone. If the wife lets me, I might sneak around the old mobile just to talk a little bit of SummerSlam. But I'm going to leave it in your capable hands, mate. But just briefly, Buckle Up is in the books, mate. We had Buckle Up on Sunday. Thanks for everyone that attended. It was a complete sellout. It was. I've said this, I think I said this to you on Sunday. It was a lifelong childhood dream for me and you to stand backstage, walk down the ramp, get in a wrestling ring, get on a microphone. It was brilliant, mate. Big thanks to CJ, big thanks to everyone at Ignite, all the talent. It was just that day, if I could relive a day again, I'd do it. I thought it was incredible. Yeah.
Signing an autograph was weird.
Yeah, we were signing T-shirts. Ryan come up. We got to sign some T-shirts. I took some photos with some little, some of the little fans, the HDTB T-shirts on. I took some photos with them outside. Lots of people come up and mention how they listen to the show, subscribe to the YouTube. And the event itself was incredible. Ignite Wrestling put on wow, what a show.
Get your tickets for September because we're going to be there and we're crowning a new turnbuckle.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we announced the Hitting the Turnbuckle champion. We've got a title. Go on our socials, go on to Ignite Wrestling. They've got the belt. Yeah, September the 17th. For anyone that wants to come to the next event, just go on Ignite Wrestling Pro's Twitter page. Click on the link. Go and get tickets for September the 17th. We've already announced some great matches.
Yeah, Gene Money's coming there. Act 2's coming. The Turnbuckle Championships coming.
Turnbuckle Championships on the light. It's going to be another great event, and it's only just over 4-5-6 weeks away. So yeah, come
row extremely limited already. Second row is getting there. So
we're going to get another 200 people.
And of course we're there. So I mean,
just come and say hi to us. We might not be in the ring this time.
We got to give the
surely we got to give the belt. I was thinking that. Do we get to walk down and do? Okay, mate.
I think we get to present the Turnbuckle Championship to the champion. Yes.
Oh, nothing. Well, you're going to get to see us.
And it's Mark True, mate. Seriously.
He's coming on. I spoke to him. He's coming on the show, mate. Me and him.
Is he really? So is Act 2, by the way, the team that debuted.
Yeah, Act 2, fine with Mark True, mate. Me and you are having fucking words, son. But this has been another episode of the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I've been your host, Andy Burrows, with my good friend and tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousins. Till next time, everybody, buckle down. Stay safe.